Hello, family. I wanted to tell y'all why I'm getting off Facebook for quite some time. Let me read this to you. This is by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She was a black psychiatrist, and this is her functional definition of racism. As a black behavioral scientist and practicing psychiatrist, my own functional definition of racism, white supremacy, is as follows. Racism is a local and global power system and dynamic structured and maintained by a person who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, which consists of patterns, perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response. That's conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. That's economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. For the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation of planet Earth, a planet upon which the vast majority of people are classified as non-white, black, brown, red, and yellow by white-skinned people. And all the non-white people are genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to the genetically recessive white-skinned people. Now, if you, we all know genetics, so if you are taking offense by me saying that that a genetic trait of brown, red, and yellow is more of a dominant trait, and the white skin color is a genetic recessive trait, because we know that people did come from Africa. So that is that is a non-racist statement. That is just a matter of fact. Now, the next area of what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said. The system of racism utilizes deceit and violence, inclusive of chemical warfare, biological warfare, and psychological warfare. That can all be dominated, let's say, by, the Tuskegee experiment, where the United States actually experimented on several farmers by giving them syphilis. We can go to the drug war launched against where drugs, known for fact, this is a fact, drugs were actually put into the black community in order to pay for weapons for the Iran-Contra hearing. I don't know if you guys remember that, Oliver North. Now, indeed, by any means necessary to achieve its ultimate goal objective of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on planet Earth. In the existing system of racism, when the term is undefined and poorly understood, there is general confusion and chaos on the part of the victims of that system, local, national, and global. It then becomes impossible for the victims of racism, white supremacy, to effectively counter the global system of racism. The African enslavement, imperialism, colonialism, neocolonialism, fascism, etc. are all dimensions and aspects of racism. Now, the functional definition of, we are not going to say that word. She said, as a black behavioral scientist and practicing psychiatrist, my own functional definition of the N-word is as follows. Any and all use of the word, whether it is used by a white person or a black person or a shade of black, no matter in what context or in whatsoever tone of voice, translates into the following statement, consciously or subconsciously, that I am helping to maintain the local, national, global system of racism, white supremacy. I recommend, instead of using the N-word, use the phrase victim of racism, white supremacy. Now, we're going to talk about the functional definition of terrorism. This was defined also by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Terrorism is defined as many black people are of the opinion that the global, national, local system of racism, white supremacy, is the longest lasting and extreme form of terrorism on the face of planet Earth, and that all other forms of terrorism flow from the major source of global injustice, which oppresses the vast majority of people on the planet Earth, the non-white global majority. Therefore, ending terrorism must of necessity mean the elimination of the global system of racism and replacing it with justice so there can be peace on planet Earth. Now, she ended her this statement by, I am pleased to note that so many people have declared that they want terrorism to end. Now, she passed at the beginning of this year, and oddly enough, this is when things have just ratcheted up. I have been censored on Facebook. They've actually blocked posts. They blocked posts by my friends. They've deleted posts altogether. They may delete this one. And all I'm doing is stating things as a matter of fact. There's not a racist thing in this statement. I'm just stating things as a matter of fact. It does bother me that that there is an overall avoidance and acceptance or acknowledgement that we do exist in this system, and rather than me to perpetuate any anger, ill will, whatever, I'm just actually getting off Facebook for quite some time, at least until things cool down, because I know that sometimes people don't understand, and because I know people don't understand, rather than me say things that would offend, which they do not offend, I'm actually stating things of fact. I would rather step back, fall back, and keep friends while we get this all figured out. So have a good one. I will be on Facebook in other areas. If you do know of my email or phone number, give me a call. But if you inbox me, man, it ain't happening, man. I'm not responding. So until then, goodbye. I know that Tariq Nasheed is actually coming up with an app called and a social network called More Us, and that is to eliminate a lot of the censorship that has happened to the majority of people who have made statements about the injustice that's going on right now. And it is injustice. All right. Peace.